sum up how you're feeling in one word, what would it be?
Hopeful. Yeah, I think without hope, we're lost. And change is constant. I'm a little afraid of what has taken place because it seems kind of fascist in terms of language.
Disheartened is one that's really sticking with me.
I'm feeling tired. Very tired.
My initial reaction was numb. I didn't want to cry. I just stared at the TV. My body felt heavy and I just felt numb. Like, this is what I should have expected the whole time.
I'm trying to use one word, but one word won't come out. You start with one and they kind of just start flowing out of you. You know what I mean? It's like tears. One starts and everything else comes. You know what I'm saying?
Devastated.
I don't know, they're kind of mad that, like, feels like it's behind clouds.
I feel conflicted. I'm, on one hand, as someone who's been labeled as disabled by the American government, I feel like I fit into one of the many, many categories that has been insulted, mocked, or encouraged violence towards by our soon-to-be president. And on the other, I am a cisgendered, white, heterosexual male.
Who are you most concerned for? I'm concerned for my sister. I got a text from my little sister this morning, but I mean, I'm concerned for all the women that I know that are friends of mine. I'm concerned for everyone who looks different than me.
For relationships, because I think there's such a great divide right now, as far as who is lashing out and who is angry and who is happy about it.
I'm most concerned for my 6-year-old cousin who right now, when he's had a bad day at kindergarten, comes home and puts on all of his feather boas and blasts Taylor Swift, because I know that the developmental gap between 6 and 10 is so large.
I'm just so scared for the LGBT youth to grow up still thinking that they're wrong.
I think this move is a little scary. I've seen assassination of the Kennedys, of Martin Luther King, of Malcolm X. These were all tragic, terrible incidents, but this is part of what it is to be alive and to get through those issues without too much pain.
What really scares me is the kids growing up in this Trump presidency, and they're going to view him as a role model and think, oh, if he can grab women by the pussy, then so can I, and I can sexually assault women, and if he's racist, then I can be too, because he's a president, and I guess if he says it's okay, then it must be okay.
The teachers who have to discuss this in school.
It's hard to deny that the international community is terrified right now.
Doesn't matter if you're Muslim or not. You could be a Sikh. You could be anything that happens to be brown. But if somebody assumes that you are Muslim, perception becomes reality, and then who knows what that means for you. I'm concerned for the Latinos. Perception will always become reality in this situation. You could be Puerto Rican, you could be Honduran, Ecuadorian. Doesn't matter. If you look Latino, they assume you're Mexican, then they go after you. If you're black, you're probably anti-cop. You're anti-cop, you're a problem. You're a woman. We've already seen a lot of stuff happen to women recently. You look at somebody like Brock Turner getting, 3 months in prison for raping an unconscious woman, right?
And the people that are around me, because so many of them are members of these marginalized communities, and I'm scared of what's going to happen to them. I'm scared of what's going to happen to myself.
I saw Ann Coulter tweet, maybe I have this incorrect, but she tweeted something to the effect of, Trump would win in a landslide if people were only allowed to vote if all of their grandparents were born in America. And in that case, I wouldn't be able to. All of my grandparents moved to the United States in the 70s, legally.
I am most concerned for really anyone that is not a privileged white male. I am fully aware of the fact that I am a white male that has privilege, but I have family members who are part of the LGBT community. I have family members who are people of color, and I know that they are targets of this hatred, and it's just really hurts to know that they're going to be experiencing all this stuff that like I can't actually fully relate to.
I mean, yo, like there's a lot of groups being targeted by this presidency, so
In a way, I'm most concerned for the people that actually voted for him, because I'm not sure they're going to see the mistake they've made.
Not my president! 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 Not my president!
Is there any kind of silver lining or positive outlook?
I'm hoping that people are going to be woke. Honestly, I hope that more people will be woke by this experience.
We have to have a positive mindset, but I think it goes back to the idea of like education, and being truly educated of what the whole nation needs. And I think that was a big thing that we saw in the election last night, is that there's this huge group of the whole country that felt like they've been left out and not truly been included in the legislation that's been created in the past 8 years, and they felt angry and wronged, and they turned to Donald Trump.
To my fellow white, male, cisgendered, heterosexual friends, we need you. We need you to step up. We can't afford to. Inaction is a luxury that we do not have.
A lot of people are afraid of conflict, of talk. I heard someone earlier today saying that they're afraid of like talking to their families or talking to their loved ones about it and having these conversations because they don't think it's going to change anything, which a lot of the times it won't, and everyone's going to fuck up, and a lot of the times, most of the time, you won't change someone's mind. It's going to get worse, and if you don't talk to people about it, it's going to stay worse.
This especially goes out to like my white friends specifically, like this pain that you're feeling, like this day where you feel like everywhere you walk, you can't get away from this. Doesn't matter what room you're in, who you're around, you cannot get away from this. Even though it's not being talked about directly, you can still feel hints of it in the back of your head. This is the experience of what it is to be a minority, and you're feeling it for the first time, and it hurts.
As a disabled person, when I stand up for my rights, I don't get taken as seriously as when someone who's in a position of power over me does. So we need people that are in a position of power to stand up for other people, to look out for your neighbor, because there's a very real possibility that no one else will.
If you believe in change and you keep trying it and keep fighting the good fight, your voice can be heard.
Have those tough conversations. Have them. Sucks. Have them anyway.
That underbelly of society that for a pretty long time we've said, you can't do that. You're not allowed to be that. You need to be better than that. No, you can't think that way. They are now validated. Now they know they are not the only ones. Now they know that pretty much across America, this is how other people feel. Oh, do you understand the cause of concern?